Hey!
This is JJ and Alex.
I made a name for myself, I told you I won't be denied.
As you wrap up your day, it's time to get your fix of the teams you live for and the sports you love. This is JJ and Alex on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
All right, everybody, welcome on in. JJ and Alex, 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone. Happy Tuesday to you. Thanks for being with us on the program. Glad to get a full show under the belt today. Excited about that.
I'm a little out of shape here. I haven't done a full show in a while.
Yeah, yesterday was weird. I hate those, especially on a Monday. You have a short show. We just have so many things we wanted to get to.
We got 4 hours today. I'm going to be exhausted by the time we're done today. I'm going to
JJ's
need a shower after the show.
JJ's in his TV uniform.
Yep. Company guy.
There you go. So we're all excited here because there's a lot to talk about, and there's tons to jump into. And we do have fun at the expense of our producer, Alex Napolis, because of how young he is.
He deserves a bonus for putting up with us.
So when we were having a pre-show conversation about He-Man and Skeletor and Jem, whether or not she was truly, truly outrageous or not, he didn't know what to say, and I felt bad for him because we grew up in an era, JJ, of pure cartoon magicalness, and it was a simpler time. Now the kids are entertaining themselves scrolling on the reels.
They don't make toys like they used to.
I think they do, but no one buys them.
Napolis is confused. He's born in 1999. He has no idea what we're talking about.
What toy are you talking about? This is the iPhone. That's it. That's the only toy anybody needs.
Dude,
right?
you would have loved the G.I. Joe aircraft carrier. If you were our age.
Listen, Teddy Ruxpin
That was the pinnacle of toys.
Teddy Ruxpin was a
late
possessed
80s.
animal that taught us everything from science to music.
Teddy Ruxpin could talk.
Yeah, his mouth moved. Like, really moved. That's what they said in the commercial. His mouth really moves. Hey,
It blew our minds when we were kids.
We're gonna keep our mouths moving, by the way, for the next 3 hours. And we're going to move right past any of the conversation about He-Man.
We really don't want to dig into the relationship between He-Man and She-Ra, Princess of Power.
I found out that Skeletor was the uncle of He-Man.
That just totally messes with my mind.
Yeah, but it makes sense when you think about all the other universes of things. It's not fun unless they're closely related. All right, everybody's got an aunt or an uncle who are Skeletor. All right, you know who you are. All right, let's kick the show off. We got things to get to, man. JJ, did you predict yesterday that the Jazz were going to win?
Okay,
or were you saying
we can't move on. We can't. I'm not letting this go.
Why?
Because I found the answer.
Found something out.
We're gonna.
You
before
didn't
we get
Google
to the
He-Man,
Jazz. Okay, He-Man and She-Ra.
Yeah.
What do you think the relationship is?
Step siblings?
No.
Okay. Cousins. She's Skeletor's daughter. What is it?
No.
What is it?
Twin siblings,
they're
separated
twins.
at infancy.
Oh, okay. Well,
There's the backstory.
There you go. Yeah.
So, for all of you He-Man folks out there, Hans is driving right now. He's yelling at us. I knew that. Hans has the whole collection.
Yeah, but Skeletor being the uncle of He-Man blew my mind.
That is really mind-bending. So now we know.
Now we can
move on. We got that out of our system.
Did we?
You were asking me about the Jazz.
Yeah, I was. Well, let's kick off the show officially here. Then we can wash ourselves of the sins of talking about cartoons from the 80s. Let's get to it. It's a cut. Top of the program. Let's do it.
It's time for the biggest story of the day. This is what made the cut with JJ and Alex on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
All right, this portion of the show brought to you by JJ and I. All right, so here you go. Lots to talk about. The biggest thing for me, as I wanted to quickly go over the Jazz thing. We're not talking about the Jazz yet, totally, but did you predict that they were going to win, or did you just say they were going to have a big bounce back? I think all of us knew there was going to be some.
I didn't think they were going to win that game. No, I did expect them to play much better. With Lowry back, with Yusuf Nurkic back, a full lineup, and sure enough, they come out and they start 21-4. The Cavs go on a run; they take an 8-point lead, but the Jazz in the second half battled. And I'm telling you, when the Jazz are full strength, it's a good team. Not a great team, not quite yet a playoff team.
Yeah,
But if they wanted to go all in on the play-in, they could definitely give themselves a shot. They're that good. And they proved it yesterday against a Cavaliers team that's pretty desperate to win games right now.
They're a 13.5-point dogs, by the way, the Jazz going into that game. They won
13.5?
Yeah, 13.5.
They won by 10.
They won by 11.
They
won by 11, yeah. And by the way, we said it too. There was going to be a moment where Keontae George is going to feel a lot more comfortable because Lauri Markkanen is on the floor.
Sure enough.
How did it go? 28 points and 12 rebounds for Lauri, 32 points, 9 assists for Keontae. He's turning into something special. And Donovan Mitchell, he brought it up after the game, which we'll get to also.
They combined for 60 points, and they both nearly had double-doubles. That's a good pairing. And if you just add one more big name to the mix in the lottery, A.J. Debonsa, then I think the Jazz would be really ready to take off next year with a healthy Walker Kessler and some cap space and some room to move. I like a lot of the young players on the team. They can have a lot of depth. Future's bright.
What you do is you try to get A.J. Debonsa, second, third pick maybe. Because I'm seeing a lot of the mock drafts.
Well,
and he's
apparently
kinda
the
second or
Kings
third.
like him, so forget about it. The Kings are going to get him.
I know, and if they're the number 2,
What a
then
dumb
there you go.
report, by the way.
Yeah, but
Everybody likes A.J. Debonsa.
I know. Just do this. You get AJ, and then you get like a second-round pick. You pick Rob Wright the third, and then like your undrafted free agent signing, Richie Saunders. Those guys are good for 80 points a night. Those three.
You're not going to get Richie as an undrafted free
Oh,
agent.
it's not maybe. I didn't want to give him any.
Richie's a second-round pick. Maybe sneaks into the first round with some good workouts.
All right, we'll see. Okay, it helps having the guys next to him that he does. To
100%.
Get that attention.
A lot of good film.
Speaking of good film, Devon Dampier gave us a bowl game that basically put an exclamation point on a tremendous first season for the University of Utah. 330 something in the passing yards category, 148 on the ground. Not a bad day for a guy who now officially has announced he's going to come back to Utah for the 2026 season. We were waiting to see when it was going to happen. We were waiting to see when it was going to be official. Byrd Ficklin had to come out like 2 or 3 times to say he's officially coming back. And I honestly think that this one was the third one because then it was like when Devon Dampier comes out and says finally, okay, yeah, he's announced his return to the University of Utah for the 2026 season. We all knew that this was probably going to be the case, but now that it's locked up, your thoughts on where Utah sits right now compared to with how they did this year in the Big 12?
Well, I'm glad that Devon took the time and made sure that his video was fully produced before he made his announcement.
Boy, yeah. You talk about how much the kids have changed these days, yes.
But no, I'm joking. It's great news for Utah, and Utah needs good news right now. You get on social media today and you start getting into Utah Twitter, and it's a dark place right now. There's a lot of anger and frustration with the departure of Kyle Whittingham, and I'm using air quotes, the poaching and stuff going on. And there's a lot of angry Utah fans that are upset about the way this has all played out and frustrated and worried about what the future looks like. Well, now you've got 2 proven quarterbacks coming back, proven playmakers, not just 1, but 2. When's the last time you had 2 quarterbacks at Utah? You're like, I love that guy. I trust that guy. We're good. This is as good as the quarterback room at Utah's felt in quite some time. And Utah fans should be really excited about that. We didn't see Devon Dampier at 100% for most of the season this year. You saw him at 100% in the bowl game, and he was dynamic, and he was awesome. And now you know what Byrd Ficklin can do as well, and they're going to find ways to do that. I'm really interested, Alex, to see what Kevin McGibbon can do with these 2 quarterbacks because he's got to get them both on the field a lot. And obviously Devon Dampier as a senior is going to be your starter, but they got to get Byrd 15 snaps, 20 snaps. I don't know what it is, but you got to figure out a way to get him on the field and do everything else you want to do. And I think that they have the creativity to do that. But for Utah, this is not just important for what they're doing next year, but it comes at an important time when the fan base needed a lift. The fan base needed something today to get excited about, to feel good about, and for a moment make them forget about the transfer portal losses and the assistant coach losses. I mean, Celeste Moa was the discussion in the last 24 hours.
Right.
A kid that was at Fremont High School signs, enrolls in school, and what is it, a week into the quarter, and he's already in the transfer portal, and he's headed to Michigan.
Yeah, that's what they say, and I'm assuming that would have been the case. But it is interesting because, boy, what a weird recruiting situation that was.
This
the
is
whole
the new
time,
world.
you know. It is.
Who offers me the most money is where these kids are going to end up going. And there's no judgment there on my part. This is business. And I think it's hard for a lot of fans, especially fans at our age or older, to wrap their head around this. This is not what college sports was for a long, long time. This is not the college sports that a lot of people our age fell in love with. But this is the new world of college football. And we were chatting before the show, in our group, and Sly was saying things, and you shared something about some media guy complaining about Indiana being old.
Oh yeah, did you? I mean, did you see it? First of all, it was crazy because
I know that guy that you're talking about. He's not very good, and he's wrong a lot. He says things that aren't even factually correct. I don't want to get into that, but this premise that something's wrong with Indiana and it's not fair that they're old, and
it was also like it's not fair that they basically gamed the system, and I'm like the system that, by the way, was set up by other people.
You don't think Alabama and Georgia and Ohio State and you don't think all these schools traditionally over time, Oklahoma and Nebraska, were gaming the system?
But they didn't do it well. That was the whole thing. Like, okay, you have the chance to game the system, and you didn't do it well enough. And you say game the system. How about just doing it inside the rules, which they previously had not done?
How many 4- and 5-star guys does Indiana have on their roster?
8.
Okay, so the other schools have the talent, more talent than Indiana. Why is Indiana dominating them? Why did Indiana boat race Oregon like that? Why did Indiana crush Alabama the way they did? Because they're old? Because they've figured out a way to game the system? They don't have the 4- and 5-star talent.
Right.
So what's going on here? What's going on? Explain that to me then.
I don't really know where at some point we decided that that you start to see people going after programs that, because what Texas Tech has done is commendable and amazing and crazy that they did it. Or it's cheating, right? It's one of those things.
Right.
No, it's amazing. They found some people who were excited about being a part of this thing. They had a guy who showed up and said, this check is blank. How do we do this? And they did it, but they also had to develop it. They also have a great coach. They have all the things in place. And then that is amazing. Texas Tech has no place in the SEC and in Big Ten world. Okay, which the SEC actually has no business in Big Ten world either right now.
Not right now.
And isn't this what we've been begging for? That we didn't have just these power conferences? Because what do you get when you have a power? Like, we're the best and we're the most important power conference. You get their dumb
SEC every year, and it just means more.
No, and you get their dumb commissioner, who has fake power over the rest of college football and goes, oh, yeah, we're not doing that. Hey, we'll sign off on the college football playoff, how it's going to be from here on out. Why do you get to say? Your conference sucks right now. You guys are bad, and you can't be the person that we go to and go, is this okay? Is this okay, Greg Sankey? Can we do this for you? No. The Big Ten is pulling all the strings. And we'll get into this a little bit later, but this is going to come down to a very awkward, ego-driven conversation between all the conference commissioners when they try to extend the college football playoff to 16 teams, and then the Big Ten and so many other conferences want to go even further. They want to get more. They want to get a 24-team playoff, which Alex Napolis does not want. What's your problem with the 24-team playoff? Stop it. Too much football?
Oh, you need to sit down and watch the FCS playoffs.
Too many teams? We put 68 in the NCAA tournament.
Cap it at 16, man.
Okay. Cap it at 16. The problem is that you're going to get – you expand when you don't feel like the big powers have gotten enough teams in.
When Notre Dame doesn't get an invitation to the party, they have to expand.
Of course. And they're going to get in anyway.
When the SEC doesn't get enough of their teams in, they have to expand.
Yeah.
We all know how this was played. So that's – you know what? You know who would benefit by that? BYU and Utah. Utah and BYU would both be in a 16-team playoff this year.
By the way, BYU is a team who is either cheating or doing well with the system. And I think everybody who's watching this on the outside in, guess what? All the teams that are getting their butts kicked by BYU's basketball team, they go, yeah, they cheated. Look what they did to get these guys to come in here. It's like, no. $15 million rosters for basketball teams is a real thing across the country. BYU's $10 million roster, or whatever it is.
Kentucky spent more on their roster than BYU.
Of course. But again, and guess what they're doing? Not winning.
Right.
And guess what teams like BYU are doing? Or with Utah, when they were able to sign up Devon Dampier and Byrd Ficklin, which I assume is that's not a cheap
No.
That's not an inexpensive go into this world of college football and getting players that you want. To get both of those guys back, that's a lot of money. And they spent it, and it was well spent. And you know what it was? Probably the best thing that happened to the beginning of Morgan Scalley's coaching, that he's getting Byrd Ficklin and Devon Dampier year one for him as a head coach of the University of Utah. Massive.
If you're going to be successful, you've got to know who your QBs are. And I mean that plural, too. You've got to have a quarterback room that you can count on and trust. I have no idea who Indiana's backup quarterback is.
It's actually the other Mendoza. Did you know that?
Okay, there you go. And you know what? I bet that Cignetti trusts him. Otherwise, he would have got a guy there that he would trust. You look around some of the best teams in college football, they had a backup. I mean, Trinidad Chambliss was a backup, right? And he got thrust into a starting role, and he ran with it. So the best teams in college football not only have a good starter, they have depth there. Right. And now Utah has that for the first time, honestly, in quite some time, where you feel good about it. If you're Morgan Scalley and you're Utah moving forward, you know now who your guys are at that position, both next year and beyond. Now, I know things can change year to year. I get that in college football. But the odds of Byrd Ficklin bailing after next season are much lower now because they're taking care of him and they're making sure he knows that he's their future. And so knowing who your guys are at that quarterback position for next year and beyond is a massive deal for Utah to be able to build around those guys. And it's going to take them a minute offensively next year because you have to replace your entire offensive line. Jordan Gross has his work cut out for him because Jim Harding did a great job at Utah, and they just benefited from a lot of that work, and they had an All-American Outland Trophy winner on one side and a first-round draft pick on the other, and some really good guys in the middle. Really good offensive line, probably the best in the country, honestly. Mm-hmm. They proved that throughout the year. They had one game where they got outmatched, and we know who that was against.
Did you want to see a picture of Alberto Mendoza? It sounds like it's made up, by the way, and he's number 16 and his brother's number 15, and they look the exact same. He came in a couple times in relief of
twins.
He's the middle brother of the three brothers, which, by the way, Mario Cristobal had a good inside shot at getting those guys because they have this Cuban-American
so I brought it up,
tie. Right.
And that's an interesting wrinkle to this game this week is I think Fernando Mendoza is the first Cuban-American to win a Heisman Trophy, and there's a lot of people in South Florida that are very proud of that. Do you root for the Indiana quarterback who's the Cuban-American, or do you root for your hometown Miami Hurricanes? There's a lot of interesting things going on there with that game, which is probably why it's going to cost $5,000 to get into the stadium.
Oh my gosh, dude!
I've never seen tickets like that for a big outside of the Super Bowl. Of
I know,
course. Maybe a Final Four, but not even that.
I'm so sad about the ticket situation.
Well,
you know why? Because college football is there now, right? And the reason I sent you that article today was it wasn't even the tickets to get in the game are insane and stupid. Okay, it's $4,000 right now for the least expensive ticket.
$4,000 for
one
ticket
seat to get in. But the reason I sent it to you is because the parking passes are going for $800.
$800 to park,
and I was like, this is terrible for the sport. We're going to get it way too out of control. And by the way, guess who's paying the $5,000 to get into the game and then another $1,000 to park? It's the same people that go to the Super Bowl. I don't think they're actually that big of fans.
No, they're not.
And
think of how big of a party that would be for Miami, for your average fan to be able to get into that game and cheering your team in a national championship at home.
If you're an Indiana fan and you take out that mortgage, that second mortgage to go to the game, do it.
Well, based on their attendance at the
they did. I mean, they showed up big time
at the bowl game.
Now, but this is a home game for Miami, which is weird. But hey, I'm telling you, take out that second mortgage because you don't know when you're ever going to be able to do this again. I know Curt Cignetti's on the rise here. He's won Coach of the Year last 2 years in a row. But I don't know how long this can last. And so spend the money for you. But if you're an Alabama fan, like you go, I'll get there next year. This is what we're going to see every year, by the way, now. This is going to set the standard for secondary ticket sales. It's going to be $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 the week of, and it's going to be $1,000 to park, and this is a freaking college football game.
It's time to accept the reality that college football is not amateur. College football is professional sports. It is professional football. It is minor league football. when you're charging that much to get into your championship game, that's approaching Super Bowl level.
Yeah.
That's a massive event.
The only bad part of that comparison
when players
is,
are getting 7-figure salaries, you're a pro league.
The only bad part of that comparison is minor league baseball players don't get paid, man. Like the college football players are even more professional than the minor league baseball
players. Well, what are
players.
players getting paid? What is it? They have the United Football League now. What is the
XFL and the XFL
they
and
combined force?
Yeah,
USFL and XFL combined. I think it's called the United Football League. I mean, those guys play like 3 months out of the year. They're probably making $25K. And here we are. These college football players, like 18, 19-year-old kids, are getting 6 figures as a freshman.
Why don't you ask ChatGPT how much the UFL players are getting? I'm curious too. There's no way it goes above the like $250,000. There's no way.
Oh, there isn't.
Like maybe a couple people.
I bet not.
Okay. Well, what'd you come up with?
Told you.
Hey, thank you for your service.
You want to try to get in the league?
Oh man,
you're right.
Jeez,
I mean, that's guys that have already gone through college, maybe had a cup of Joe in the NFL, and now they're fighting to get back. And they're watching these kids that are unproven. Many of them have done hardly anything, getting dropped big checks because they've got 200,000 Instagram followers and they were a 4-star recruit. But are they proven? We live in this world now. And now you have the transfer portal, and you have all these guys bouncing around. 10,000 players in the transfer portal. How many of those 10,000 players in the transfer portal are either going to find a better place or no place at all? A lot of broken hearts. We're not hearing those stories and talking about those stories. We just see the teams flashing all these recruits that they signed, and Utah, man, am I, and all in down at BYU. But there's all these other kids that have jumped in the portal, and you're going to see more stories of these young men who jumped in the portal and young women in other sports as well that come away very disappointed in this whole process, and they get left behind. And now you see this whole ripple effect of high school kids who would have been good enough to play D1 10 years ago are not even getting looks because these D1 schools can't afford to bring in high school kids and develop them.
No, I get it.
They got to go out in the portal and get kids now. So it's all the world has changed. This all has changed.
How did we turn this into a bickering session? It just started with us celebrating that Devon Dampier's coming back. Come on. Supposed to be excited about that.
Well,
okay.
do you want to talk about how upset Utah fans are at Kyle Whittingham right now?
Oh,
because that's all I'm seeing on social media.
Yeah, they are upset at him, and he should be upset.
I
at
feel
Utah.
like that meme of the guy that walks in with the pizza and the room's on fire, and then he walks and turns around and walks right back out. Like, I'm not getting involved in that.
No, I mean, where do you fault Kyle Whittingham in all this? By the way, I think people need to start firing off their mad emails at the athletic department. Like, that wasn't handled well, right?
Well, was it handled perfectly by Kyle Whittingham?
He went full Aaron Rodgers on everybody and just was like, yeah, I'm going to do whatever I want. I'm going to walk out of here. I'm going to make my choices. See you later. Oh, you think I'm done? No, I'm not done. I'm going to keep coming back.
A little Wolf of Wall Street there, right? I'm not done yet.
That's what the comparison was, right?
Mark Carlin and Morgan Scally are sitting like, you're not done yet.
Oh my gosh.
Here we are. And you know, it's been a weird month for Utah fans. And so I don't want to be negative, and we went on a tangent of what's wrong with college football right now, where it's going, but to turn it back to Utah, celebrate the fact that Devon Dampier made his announcement today. There is some positivity there, and Morgan Scally and that program are doing some great things. They're bringing in a lot of transfer portal guys that they like. Let's see what they can do. But you know you got a quarterback that can make plays. You know you got 2 quarterbacks that can make plays. So Utah fans should be feeling really good about that today.
I think that the biggest thing you could take away from this is massive win for Morgan Scally.
Yes.
And massive win for this entire program, because bringing those 2 guys back, they're both probably starting on multiple teams in the Big 12. And they're on one team, and they're going to be absolutely – if you thought they're good this year, watch out. Okay? And just because Jason Beck left, I think McGivn's going to be able to do the same. He's going to be able to dial these guys in.
Yep.
He's experienced. He knows what he's doing. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. More to go around the corner when we come back. We've got ourselves a Jazz Ticket Tuesday to get you some tickets around the corner. You've got all sorts of things to jump into here. But I do want to talk about this 16-team playoff deal because I think that this is interesting, and we'll see how this one goes. Stay right here with us, 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone.
Accessing.
When TV and radio collide.
Love it.
Wow. This is what you get. You're listening to JJ and Alex.
Don't touch that dial.
On 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Oh, you know what that music means? Some breaking news straight from the NCAA transfer portal breaking news desk. Jeremiah Jensen has something for us. JJ, what are you reporting on?
Hayes Fawcett of On3 Sports reporting that Utah standout transfer cornerback Smith Snowden has committed to Michigan.
Any surprises there?
Smith Snowden headed to Michigan. Surprises?
We were just talking. No. We were just talking about how. Yeah, I mean the transfer portal giveth and taketh away.
And another thing for Utah fans to be upset about. Another Utah player going from Utah to Michigan.
Well, and John Henry Daly was a big name.
J.G. Buchanan.
J.G. Buchanan was a big
really
name
impressive
on the rise.
freshman.
Smith Snowden is, I think, the even bigger name out of all those people. I think John Henry Daly had a massive year where he was thrust into the national spotlight,
yes.
Became an All-American. Smith Snowden is bona fide, 4-star recruit. He knows. I mean, look.
Yeah. Made a lot of plays for the Utes.
It would be so tempting, not just from the money standpoint. I would assume that maybe they offered more money. It's freaking Michigan, okay?
Right.
But, man, getting attention is so important to be able to get yourself into the NFL. Does Utah not get that attention? No. It's just that people are going to have eyes on that Michigan team more than they ever have this year. I mean, more than they've had even in the most recent years with the Jim Harbaugh stuff. And the reason is because everybody's going to see if Kyle Whittingham can right a ship that on the football field is kind of okay. Off the field's a disaster of an athletic department. And everybody's going to be watching. And Smith Snowden, I mean, it's hard. I don't like Michigan at all. When I was a kid and NBC would have Notre Dame on and they'd be playing Michigan. Every other year it felt like they were playing Michigan.
You're a Pac-10 guy.
That's true. I did watch Michigan and Washington in a handful of Rose Bowls.
You looked at the Big Ten in a different way.
Yeah, and I didn't really love Michigan, but you think I wouldn't want my kid in some maize and blue? I mean, if they had the chance.
With
your
the
coach, with your head coach that you've had your entire time, the guy who recruited you, all that stuff. And I know that Morgan Scalley was a defensive coordinator too, but you're going to a place, you're going to get more money, more eyeballs are going to be on you. You can do bigger things against bigger teams. Say what you will about the Big Ten and where it compares to everybody else, but that's the league you can turn a lot of heads in. More than you can even at Utah or BYU or in the Big 12, who still is having to prove themselves. We've said it before. You got to be 30% better than everybody else if you're playing at Utah to be able to get to the NFL to that degree. Now, the good news is they've been, I say Utah, I mean BYU also. BYU probably has to do more because Utah is kind of that proven. They've got more guys in the NFL over the past.
Well, there's a stigma about BYU players that they're old. And
what are they, Indiana old though?
No, not even close. For a long time, the NFL looked down on, college prospects that were old because they didn't think they had as much upside.
Taysom Hill, it was the big knock on him basically the entirety of his career.
Dennis Pitta and Austin Collie went much later than they should have in the drafts because they were older players that served missions. So what I'm saying is Smith Snowden going to Michigan, it's not a shock. That's a big hit, though. You just lose a lot of talent on your defense. Well, and then obviously in the last 24 hours, the top-ranked high school football player in the state of Utah, who had already signed and enrolled at Utah, Celeste Moa, entered the transfer portal. A player who has not even gone to a practice yet, entering the transfer portal. Yeah. And I think that was kind of the sense I got from a lot of fans out there. Like, that was it. That was a breaking point. I've had enough. And they're blaming Kyle Whittingham for it. And you're fair, and you're free to do that. As a Utah fan, you can blame. There's information out there. You can make a decision about what you believe and what you know is true. I'm not here. You can feel however you want to feel. You can be mad at Kyle Whittingham all you want. Because this is a competition. This is sports. And if people don't understand that, trust me, Kyle Whittingham understands it. This is all about competing. He's having these players come to Michigan because he wants to win. He's under a tremendous amount of pressure to win at Michigan. If this fails, he fails. He needs to bring people there, both players and coaches, that are going to help him succeed, and that's exactly what he's doing. Is it hurting Utah? That's debatable and remains to be seen about the damage that's being done to Utah's roster, and obviously it caused a lot of turnover on the coaching staff. Time will tell whether Morgan Scalley hired the right replacements. Time will tell if these players leaving Utah and going to Michigan do better there. I'm skeptical, to be honest with you. Or if Morgan Scalley and his staff have been able to find the proper replacements for these guys that are leaving and going to Michigan. Like if John Henry Daly and J.J. Buchanan and Smith Snowden and Celeste Moa go to Michigan, blow up, and are awesome and help Michigan win a national title, it's going to be pretty tough for Utah fans to watch that. If it goes the other direction, Utah fans will be like, see, told you so. You should have stayed.
What you may not have heard over the last few days, everybody's focusing so much on the college football playoff, how many teams are going to be in the playoff in the future.
Yeah.
And we differ on some things here. I like the idea of 24 just because I'm fine with extra football. I do think it does get to be much, but you know what they need to do? I mean, half of December is just worthless in college football or more because bowl games that don't matter, teams that are just sitting around waiting to play those bowl games, during that time you could get a lot done. And you could still be able to get the national championship done by January 1.
Agree with that. I agree 100%.
I hope they try to figure that out. Maybe it's a bridge too far on the 2014.
We don't need college football on January 21st.
But I like what Dan Lanning has said before, which is, hey, I think we go a couple rounds in the college football playoff with the higher seed hosting.
Agree.
And he goes, I mean, when they were about to play Texas Tech, he goes, I think we should be playing them in Lubbock.
The campus games are awesome.
And they're amazing. And it brings it here's what it does too. It brings more revenue to the school, and they deserve it. And these are schools that, by the way, they're going to get some chunk of money paid to them anyway, but it's split up among their conference, unless you're Notre Dame. And I think that that's one thing I wish that they would figure something out with that. Play a couple games. But that being said, the college football coaches, this one's flying under the radar because all the bickering is going back and forth, and they've got to decide in 10 days if they're going to go to a more than 12-team playoff format. And they're bickering between the two biggest conferences, the Big Ten and the SEC. This one flew under the radar, and I had no idea it was even a thing yet. College football coaches have now voted unanimously to alter the eligibility rules of expanding redshirt seasons for their players. Shocked that they wanted to expand it for more of those coaches being able to get guys longer. So the 4 games they get, which doesn't count against their red shirt, they have voted unanimously to move it to 9 games.
Why 9?
Make it 12. Make it a full freaking season.
Why aren't they?
I don't know where 9 comes from. Like, is that really the thing? We're like, well, you're going to play 9 games, son.
Help me understand this.
I don't know.
There's
I don't
no
know.
logic to this.
I don't know, but they're going to move it to 9, and now they're going to wait for the NCAA Division I committee. Who cares what they say? Anyway, because they're going to vote this thing through. 9 games for a redshirt season to stick around. Let's just get it over with. Let's just pull off that Band-Aid.
Give them 5 years.
Give them 5 years. That's what the direction we're going anyway.
That's 3 games short of a regular season. That's it.
I know.
Just let them play a 5th year.
Well, but also, by the way, they could play in the 9 games and they could play in the bowl game. Because that one doesn't count either.
And the conference championship games do not count for their eligibility.
So they can play in 11 games. What are they missing on the other 2 games?
11 out of 14?
Well, and that's if they don't go to like a national championship or national semifinal, all those things. So they could play in 13 games in a season, and they had to sit out 2 to keep that red shirt. Come on.
Technically 3.
Technically 3, I guess, yeah. But come on. And guess who they're sitting out against? Pick the ones. I'm going to sit out against the Citadel. I'm going to sit out against Mississippi State. I'm going to sit out against, Bowling Green that we got at the front end. Can you pick which games? Can you just say, oh, yeah, you could. So just do the full.
Yeah, there'd be a lot of strategy
Just
that goes
do your
into
full non-conference schedule.
juggling. It'd be like the NFL where they have active and inactive players.
Just do your full.
Here's a list of 6 guys that are inactive for this game.
Yeah. Just
Again,
do it.
This sounds like pro football. College football is becoming more and more pro in every way at the highest level.
And here's the other thing is even if they don't get it, like then they put in some hardship thing and the NCAA kind of goes, no, you can't. No, you can, though.
Well, they're
You
so
over here
afraid
can.
to get it sued that they're basically.
I know.
That's why I was shocked when Trinidad Chambliss didn't win
Didn't get a
his
6th year.
Didn't get his
Yeah.
6th year, and that's still up in the air. He's going to appeal it,
yeah.
and he's going to get a lawyer, and he's going to go full Diego Pavia, and he's going to get that year.
Diego Pavia. Talking about guys who are too old. How's Diego Pavia, by the way? 23? I mean, he was at, I don't know, he was at Eastern New Mexico State. What was he at? The military academy? New Mexico
Military Academy.
So he's 23. He'll be 24 next month.
He'll be 24 next month.
Like,
Where'd he serve his mission?
I know. This is what I'm saying. How long? It was funny when coaches were making fun of BYU for so many years, and they finally, all it was just jealousy. They want to get 24-year-olds themselves. I mean, this guy full on. Pavia should be playing at BYU, man. Come on. All right. But yeah, going into the draft pool, when he's drafted, he'll be 24. So
Fernando Mendoza turns 23 this year, and he's still got eligibility.
See?
These guys are older.
Yeah.
And why wouldn't you be? You can make a lot of money playing big time Power 4 college football.
If you're gonna do it right, if you're gonna complain right, you got to do it with a Southern accent. I mean, they got these mature guys. Some of them have families, 2-3 kids.
We got 15-year-olds here at Alabama that are sophomores.
You know, I don't know what to tell them. They have full-fledged insurance. They got life insurance, and they got a full family to feed. And my kids are coming in. They're 18. They barely know the game. I love hearing
They're
that
playing their Fortnite.
All right. I've got tickets to give away. So if Utah fan, if you're grumpy out there that you just heard that Smith Snowden's transferring to Michigan, do you feel more slighted by Kyle Whittingham stealing him away or Smith Snowden going there? But I have a way for you to be able to get over it. I've got some tickets. A Jazz Ticket Tuesday right now, 801-575-ZONE. That's 801-575-ZONE. 801-575-9663. Get yourself a pair of tickets to see the Utah Jazz and the Minnesota Timberwolves next Tuesday. That's right. Rudy doesn't have to sit out for that one, right? I know he's suspended because of all the flagrants. He has to sit out one game this week.
Yeah.
I'm assuming he'll be in town to wave to the old fans. So the Jazz, Timberwolves next Tuesday. You can win those tickets right now. 801-575-ZONE. That's 801-575-9663. We'll come back. We have a Would You Rather next right here, 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone.
Listen, everybody. Real life hypotheticals to get your brain churning. As JJ and Alex ask, would you rather?
All right, everybody, welcome back. JJ and Alex, 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone. Alex Kirry, Jeremiah Jensen, thanks for being with us on the program. As usual, we give those tickets away. We doing it again next hour? We doing it again the hour after that? That's the kind of dedication we have on a Jazz Ticket Tuesday, all right? But tomorrow's Win Ticket Wednesday. Guys, we're just giving away stuff all the time. Tomorrow, win tickets to see the Skijoring Utah that's coming back to...
Excuse me?
Yes, I did not sneeze. Skijoring. It's a thing. ProSkiJour.com is where you can get the tickets right now, or you can win them all day tomorrow. ProSkiJour.com is the website. Go check it out if you don't know about skijoring.
Bless you.
You're like us. So win those tickets and find out about it. All right. We just went through this whole thing here, and I want to ask you, would you rather be in the spot from a recruiting standpoint and from a coaching standpoint right now, just the staff between Utah and BYU, where they sit right now, not with the people that are on their rosters, but like just the coaching staff, everything. Which one would you rather be in on meetings planning for your season next year?
Oh, it's BYU. It's easy.
Why? Wait, why?
The continuity.
A lot of big names coming back.
Roster continuity.
A lot of big names coming back.
Look, it's obvious. You look at what BYU is bringing back. I mean, you're losing Jack Kelly to graduation. He'll be in the NFL.
No, you lost the biggest person out of those two teams, though, in Jay Hill, by far, right? Like that, you should be nervous about that. The defensive side of the ball is scary. I know K-Pop is going to do well.
We trust.
Is that what BYU fans are really saying? Or are they just are they halfway saying it and they believe it? Maybe
Why
halfway?
not?
I'm not saying that Kelly Poppinga is not going to be good at it. I'm saying Jay Hill is a program difference maker. And K-Pop is yet to be seen at that position at BYU. So I'm just saying.
They just landed Kedu Luave in the transfer portal. K-Pop had to recruit him.
I think
they beat out
that's
Michigan
great.
for Kedu Luave.
That's great.
Mountain Ridge star. They're bringing him home.
Now, I'm not saying
That's
I'd rather.
a good get.
I'm not saying
He's an experienced linebacker that's played at the P4 level.
I think the worst of everything. I mean, out of all the people that left that were that joined Kyle Whittingham, I need to preface that losing Kyle Whittingham and your offensive coordinator that was there for 1 year, who knows how to pull the levers on these two cats who are amazing at Utah.
You have new coordinators at Utah. You have several new position coaches.
New head coach.
You've lost your entire starting offensive line. You have lost your All-American defensive end to the transfer portal. You've lost a promising tight end to the transfer portal. You lost your number one top recruit, who you just signed in-state, to the transfer portal. And you lost Smith Snowden, an experienced defensive back, in the transfer portal. Utah has real challenges. They have real personnel challenges. They've got a lot of, whether it's inexperience or new bodies and new people. Now, that could be a great thing. This could all be great for Utah, but we don't know. The certainty is with BYU right now. Yes, Jay Hill is a loss, but Kelly Poppinga comes in, and there's some continuity there. Am I comparing him to Jay Hill right now? Of course not. Kelly would come in here and tell you, yeah, there's some learning curve here. I'm not Jay Hill. I got to get there, but I'm ready to try. And I know this program, and we're going to run a lot of the same things, but I'm going to put my Colton Swan's taking over at Utah, kind of similar deal, so that's positive. Kevin McGibbon knows the state. He's at Utah State. He's recruited Utah forever, and he's had success, and he's been on staffs here, but there's so much new at Utah and so much continuity at BYU. It's BYU for me, and it's easy as to which situation lends itself to more success next season.
Being able to go back to
nobody objectively
again.
is going to look at both situations and rank Utah ahead of BYU at the start of next season. Can't do it. That doesn't mean Utah's not going to end up being better.
When's the transfer portal close? The 16th?
17th? Question mark?
Yeah. Primary window. Oh, I got it. Primary window the 2nd through the 16th.
Okay. So it is technically closed on the 17th.
Right. So we're both right.
Semantics.
What is this, a bad marriage? No, I said that, honey.
Look, for you listening, we both know what we're talking about, okay?
Okay, but you didn't understand what I was saying. The 17th technically is the day that it is
but
not
it's still
anymore.
technically open on the 16th. It's closed at midnight when it turns midnight on the 17th.
Yeah. Would you rather fight about the groceries or football? I prefer this type of fighting.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right. Are you just talking food fight type grocery thing, or does it evolve into that?
I have no idea. I married somebody who doesn't fight at all about anything, and we just don't have any arguments like that. So, got lucky.
Ask her about the transfer portal. Ask her about Kyle Whittingham's departure from Utah.
Yeah.
It'll get heated.
But she's also smart, and she would roll her eyes and walk. She would turn right around out of the door and go, "Whatever, dude."
Dang it!
Have that conversation with yourself. All right. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We have more around the corner. When we return, going to get to some hockey. The Utah Mammoth tonight taking on the Toronto Maple Leafs. That's a big one right here at Delta Center. This is a big home game. After just getting 1 point against Columbus, everybody wants to see what they're going to do this time around. Stay here. Cole Bagley is going to join us next, our Utah Mammoth insider for KSLSports.com. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.